All right, we're here with two young men from Bedford High School, two seniors that unfortunately have lost their spring track season. We're here to give them a little bit of recognition for spending so much time in the state of New Hampshire doing track. So welcome to Jack and Zach. I'm glad you guys could be here with us.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thank you.
So we're going to start off, and Jack, we'll start with you. How have you been handling all this COVID-19 stuff? Training in isolation and your remote learning. How have you been handling everything?
You know, at first it kind of started off as being kind of overwhelming. All the different changes, and having to deal with like some of the like sad things that have happened. Looking at like taking away track season, taking away all the like senior things that are going on. But I think how I've been handling it is basically just trying to look at the positives in like the situation, whether it's getting more time to train, whether it's focusing on different things that I need to complete moving forward and like towards college, and honestly just trying to like have time with family and take that for I guess sometimes we take that for granted. And so I guess now that we're back and we're able to be with our families more often, that's what I've kind of been focusing on.
Well, it's certainly an awesome way to look at it, and I'm sure it took you some time to get there because you guys really have lost a lot, but what a fantastic way to approach it in a terrible situation. So good for you. How have you found your classes with the remote learning?
I know at least for me, off the bat, they were relatively easy, but also I can see how difficult it was for my professors and teachers to try and transform all this like hard curriculum into an online platform. So I think just giving all the props to my teachers and helping to make this such a fluid and like easy transition online has probably been the best.
Great. All right. How about you, Zach? How have you been handling, the training, the being away from all your friends, your remote learning? How have you been handling all that?
So with the whole COVID-19 thing going around, it was hard to like just stop doing everything because I'm used to constantly having a sport going on, even during school with it, whether it's soccer or track. So having everything just stop, sort of just I didn't know what to do with myself. So I've just been spending a lot more time with my family and trying to do some soccer workouts for next year. But it's just been tough not being able to really do everything that you wish to do your senior year.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. So you say some soccer workouts. So, give us an example of some types of workouts that you've been doing, whether it's to keep in shape for track or soccer or both, or because at one point, the first few weeks we were doing these, we were hoping for a modified track schedule. So you must have been training as if we were having one. And you say soccer. So what are some things you're doing with some specific? We'll start with you, Zach.
Yep. So with all the gyms closed, it's just conditioning based so far. So I've been hitting the fields and doing sprints because I'm more of a sprinter anyways. So doing like 10-yard sprints, 20-yard sprints, full field, just keeping it different and making it longer distance, shorter distance helps me with my endurance and just being able to explode off the line.
Great. How about you, Jack?
For me, I have a lot of time on my hands because of there's no track season, plus the facts that my classes have pretty much wrapped up. So I've kind of created like workout schedules for myself. Because I'm mainly a hurdler, I have like 2 or 3 days of blocks over hurdles, extra hurdle work. Every other day I wake up at 5:30 and I go on like a 3 or 4 mile run just to like keep my endurance up. And then every single day I do like around 3 workouts just to try and make sure that I'm bringing my best self to the track next year at Assumption.
Okay. So you're getting up at 5:30 in the morning to start your day.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm impressed. Nice. Good for you.
Yeah.
So you just
Thank you.
mentioned something, so we've got to go off of that. So we've got Assumption and St. A's. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you made a comment about next year and running there. So we're going to be continuing our track career next year in college.
Yep.
Jack?
Yep. So I'm gonna get to run an Assumption next year, which is D2, and I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, it's gonna be a big jump for the hurdle height, For me, mainly being a hurdler and only being around 5'10", it's going to be a little bit of a trial and error situation for me. But I gotta work. I know this off season is going to be so important working forward towards next year. So I just am trying to get my flexibility up, get my strength up, and get my hurdle times up. So
Great. Okay. How about you, Zach? Next year, what are your plans?
So next year, I'm playing soccer at St. A's, not running track. Um, it was a tough decision to make coming down to it, but when it comes to like the whole money and the value of the schools, like St. A's made the best choice for me, and I wanted to play a sport, so that added the other element to it for me. So just doing all the workouts that I'm able to do here, and just trying to convert my track workouts into soccer workouts to a degree is it's what been trying to do.
And now St. A's is a Division II school as well, correct?
Yes.
So is the opportunity there for you to also do track, or do they really just like you to focus on one and focus on soccer?
So St. A's doesn't have a track team at
Oh,
all.
okay. Okay, I
So
didn't know that.
if I were to like transfer out, which is like a thought to do, go into my sophomore year, I could have the chance to play both soccer and run track at a different college. But for the freshman year, anyways, I'm just going to be at St. A's playing soccer.
Okay, great. All right, how about your major? What are you thinking of majoring, Zach?
So I'm planning on majoring in business. I don't know where off of that, somewhere in there. It's a large degree to go off of, but I'm just trying to narrow it down. I need to do a little bit more research and everything, but business is a general idea where I want to be.
Okay. How about you, Jack?
I am kind of flipping around different ideas right now, but I'm pretty much set on a double major in marketing and psychology. Basically, because I really want to focus on understanding how people think and understanding like the different interactions that people have. And I feel like having the psychology route and the marketing route will help me to have an idea of how to, display products differently in marketing and come up with different marketing schemes that'll like help a wide variety of people, I guess.
Okay, so you guys have been thinking about your future. That's awesome. All right, let's bring it back to track here. Let's say what is it? We'll start with you this time, Jack. What are some things that motivate you specifically that your coaches would do to motivate you? Your internal motivation. Just take us on your road to your motivation.
So one thing that was always huge for me is I've never been like a super athlete. Like I've never been like a generational like talent or anything. So I guess just having that drive in myself, because I'll never forget our old coach, Coach V. He now coaches at SNHU. He pulled me aside one time and just told me to keep driving and keep pushing. And all my other coaches have also told me to keep pushing. And I've never wanted something as bad as to run in college. Ever since I was like a little boy, I've always been obsessed with running. And so I think the thing that motivates me the most is finally trying to make it somewhere and trying to be the best form of athlete I guess I can be, because track is one of those things where you just you have such a I don't know you have those set times that you can beat, you have the set PRs, and you can physically see and those improvements upon yourself, and that's what I think I absolutely love about track.
Yeah, it's an individual, and then you all come together as a team, but you're really focusing on your own.
Exactly.
Yeah. And as a coach, I can tell you to have, you can have all the talent in the world in an athlete, but if they don't have that determination and drive, like you say, is your motivator, there's only so far you can go. So I love to hear that. That's good for you. You're gonna continue to grow. Absolutely. All right. How about you, Zach? What are your motivators, whether it's from coaches or your own personal motivation?
So my motivation from even in middle school, I always wanted to be a D1 athlete. So my motivation was always to put up the best times I could. And that really started in freshman year. When you get thrown in a relay as a freshman, you have all the pressure on you to compete and do the best you can. So ever since then, it's all been for the relays, anyways. It's been a team thing. It's been a family thing. Once you're on one relay, it's your family. You don't want to give up on them. You never want to fail them. But then for my personal goals, it's been my father and my coaches. They've been, and especially my mom too. She's helped me a lot. She's always there, rooting me on and everything. But just having them push me, having them tell me that if I lose, it's hurting the team in one way or another. So it's always the pressure, and just having that support system really helps you out.
You know, it's over and over again. Track kids will talk about that relay. I mean, there's just something super special about a relay. It really is. And you can let yourself down, but to let up down your teammates and on a relay, it's the four of you bonded. Absolutely, 100%. I love that. Okay. So how about your favorite event in track, Zach?
Um, for indoor, it was definitely the
Start with you.
300, and for the 400, and for outdoor, it's definitely the 400. It's I think they're two of the hardest races to run in track. They're long enough where they start to hurt, but they're short enough where it's a full-on sprint the whole time. So
Mhm.
it's like the most. It's a strategic race, but it's also a fun race to do.
Great. Okay. How about you, Jack?
You know, I feel like hurdles have always been really important to me, whether it's 55, 110, 300, but there's no race more important to me than the 4x4, at least in high school. You know, this year I got the pleasure to run with my boys in the 4x4 in at New England's and as a fill-in, and that was probably one of my favorite moments of all time for track. So I'd have to say there's nothing that really hits deeper than running that 4x4 with your team. Um, that I mean, it's got to be my favorite.
Nice. So now going into college, I believe the 300-meter hurdles becomes the 400-meter hurdles. Is that right?
Yes, indeed.
So you're going to put your two favorite things together.
I guess
So there you
so.
go. There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So how about you? What's your favorite thing about track and field? Not necessarily those events, but what's your favorite thing about it? Jack, we'll start with you this time.
I think my favorite thing about track is just my team, honestly. Like like on a very emotional note, like this team for all 4 years that I've been with, there's not a second that goes by that I, don't cherish all of them. And they've always been so supportive of me, and we're always such a big family, like Zach said earlier. And it hurts not to get to run with them one more time, but I'm also looking forward to next year, being part of a new family, I guess, because track is so much family sport. So
100% agree. All right. How about you, Zach?
So the thing that's I'm gonna miss especially about the track team is it's more than just an individual sport. When you're on the team, like you can play a team sport like soccer, football, lacrosse, any of those, but it's a different form of a team sport when it comes to track. Because it's an individual sport, but you have the team standing by you, supporting you, because you all do your own things. But to have people backing you up, it's a whole new level that just makes it what it is.
And I think for most people that haven't done the sport, they don't get that. But when you've done track, you truly understand. You know, everyone sees it as an individual sport, but when you're on it, you know that's not the case. So absolutely. All right, so let's kind of go down to our we call it our lightning round. Let's do some fun questions to get a little bit away from that serious track side. And we'll start with you. Your go-to pre-race meal.
Uh, Mine's definitely the mac and cheese from Panera. It's
Nice.
um it's what I've had ever since last year when I started my championship runs. So I have always had a mac and cheese from Panera and a strawberry mint and a smoothie all before all my races.
Okay, perfect. How about you, Jack?
mine, mine tends to change, but normally, what I have right before like I run is I always have a granola bar, and I always have some sort of like. I normally bring a Snickers every single time to eat right before like I run, maybe like 10 minutes, just because like I don't eat the entire thing, but like I have those like snack ones because it just gives me that little bit of sugar that I need right before a race, and it like gets me pumped up. I don't know why, but that was like a strategy that I guess I implemented like in my last, I think since like the beginning of junior year, I think I've done that. So yeah,
It works
it
for you.
works. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll start with you this time, Jack. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
I would probably go at least next year, to go see the Olympics, because I just feel like wherever the Olympics are, is just such a surreal thing. Like I've had family members that have been able to go, to some of them, and it's just like the whole aspect of everything. Like I don't even care where the location is, just getting to like watch those like pro runners get to, run around and set these ridiculous PRs. It's a surreal effect, and I think that would be absolutely incredible.
Okay. Good choice. Good choice. All right, Zach, how about you? Anywhere in the world?
I would go to Hawaii. I
Hawaii.
went there as a little kid, and I can vaguely remember the memories, but I remember how amazing it was there. It's how everything's just perfect weather-wise, food, everything. It's just a great place to be. It's a long flight, but it's worth being there for a while.
You got to go there for a good couple weeks though.
Yeah,
All right, so we'll start with Zach this time. If you knew you could not fail, what would you do?
I'd play football. I'd
Nice.
be a
Okay.
football wide receiver if I knew I couldn't fail. It's the one sport I
Okay,
never
Jack, how
played,
about you?
but
Oh, go ahead.
oh no, it's fine.
Honestly, I'd probably do the same thing as Zach. I wish I was a football player. That'd be so sweet. I mean, just getting all the credit of being a football player would be pretty cool. I mean, you see how many people pop out to those games compared to track meets. So, probably.
Oh, come on. We have our fans. We have like 5 of them. It's good. Um, all right. How about we'll start with you, Jack. Hopefully you can still hear me. How about a shout out? Who would you like to give a shout out to?
I'd probably give a shout out to just all my teammates, and my coaches. My coaches have been absolutely phenomenal throughout. Um, Mrs. Blahnik, Coach Peon, they've been nothing but extreme. Um, all they've given me is straight confidence throughout, and every little technical detail. They're not afraid to, they don't sugarcoat things. They're not afraid to just tell you. And Mr. Woodhead for obviously being a great coach as well, and pretty much all of my coaches throughout, because without them, I don't think I would have ever been in this position. Just their knowledge that they bring to the table is always something that I think a lot of athletes take for granted until they get down to it and they really think about it. Because honestly, I don't think we would be anywhere without our coaches and our teammates. So, yeah.
Great, good answer. All right, how about you, Zach? Who do you want to give a shout out to?
I give a shout out to my teammates. All of them were great throughout the past 4 years. The seniors when I was a freshman, and me trying to be a role model to the freshmen incoming. And I'd especially give a shout out to all my coaches, especially Coach Peon. He was the one coach I dealt with all 4 years. He was the only coach I really dealt with since I was a sprinter. So just having him to push me in and day out and not let me slack on my workouts or my schedule or anything just helped me for the past 4 years.
Great. Well, you guys are certainly handling this really tough time in stride here. You're trying to look at the positives, and I really appreciate that. And you guys have been amazing to talk with. So sorry that you lost this so important senior year, but know that we're all thinking of you here on the website and the state of New Hampshire, and we're going to keep watching you. And Jackie, you're going to keep up your track career, so please come back to the website, give us some updates what it's like to be a freshman. We love to hear those stories. And Zach, we're going to keep watching you on the soccer field too. So you got to make sure you come back and tell us what that's all about too.
Yes.
Sweet.
So you guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for being here. And we at the website here, we just wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks.